Hey guys, welcome back to building a robot arm. So today what we're going to be doing is we will be building the claw. So the claw is the final piece of this guy. We've worked with the base, we've have both the lift and then also the turret motors and also the extend motor. The claw is going to go right here. We're going to fasten it to here and it's going to be able to at that point be able to grab things. So pretty cool. I'll put this to the side for now. So I'm going to go step by step. So what we need first, we got to grab these two pieces right here. All right, there's only two pieces that kind of look like this. It has these kind of like claw features with these gear kind of looking things. And then what we need is this guy. Okay, it's kind of squarish. It looks kind of like this one. Okay, these two look really similar, except this one, the one that we need, has a little extra extension here, a little longer. Okay, just to kind of make sure you guys don't get confused. So not this one. I'm gonna put this to the side for now. All right. So now what we got to do is put these two things together. So we want to grab this piece right here, and this will actually go underneath like that, and then same as this one. Okay? Now, what we need is we need two of these guys. These are M3 by 6. All right, M3 by 6. So what we're going to do is, let's do one of them first. So I'm going to take, this should just slip through up here. Just slip through. And then what we do is, then this needs to screw into here, into the bottom there. So let's do this first one. Okay. And kind of like the other ones, this is probably good. Okay. If you go too tight, where it's kind of hard to move, then your motor might end up having issues. So you want to do it tight, but not so tight that, see, like this, I'm trying to touch it. It's too hard to move. So let me loosen it slightly. Maybe okay, but still a little bit too tight. So I'm gonna loosen a little bit. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay. All right, so we got that going. Now let's get the other piece. Now what I like to do is make sure that this lines up. So if we go like this is odd, right? And we want to make sure it's straight, like that. So that's perfectly straight, like aligned, you know, it's closed here, and it's straight. So then now when you get it lined up, like you see, like this. Okay, now that's lined up, then let's put that screw through. Up here, start screwing it in. Alright, let's go a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. And you can move it like this, and it works pretty well. So if it doesn't line up, make sure you could try again, make sure maybe you didn't get the teeth all lined up. When it closes, it should look like that. Okay? All right, I'm going to go a little bit tighter. Maybe a little bit more. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and actually, It ended up a little bit too tight. So this is, it's good that I'm showing you this. Guys, you want it, yeah, like this is good. It's like still kind of loose, but when you don't touch it, it stays, okay? So you want it tight enough so that when you don't touch it, it stays, but when you move it, it's like super easy to move. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Okay, so the next step is we got to grab one of our servo motors, all right? And this has sticky foam on it because I was using it in my cardboard robot, and so yours might have sticky foam too, but totally fine as long as it still works. All right, so then we take our gripper here, and let's make sure we got two sides, right? We got a side that does not have the tops of the screw, and then a side that has the top of the screw. So let's flip it down, or flip it on the side where the tops of the screw is showing, okay? And then what we do is we're going to put this eventually is going to go like this, all right? And the wire will be going toward the claw, like that, okay? And what needs to happen is you have these other two pieces here. We got this one here, kind of weird looking piece, and then this guy too. Also kind of like a weird looking piece. All right, so what's going to happen is that this guy, the smaller one, is going to go right there. And then this guy is going to go on the other side over here, but it needs to be turned like that. Okay? We're going to put it like that. All right, so as we're holding all that with our hand, we're going to take this piece right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and it's supposed to go over all of this and kind of go through it. Now, let's take a look here. Let me lift this up. This wire needs to go through, and then, oh, let me try that again. So maybe it's easier to first put the wire through. Okay, like that. So this is eventually going to go like this, and then this little notch here, you see that notch? That's for the cable, so that's going to go there. Now before I put that through, let's put these guys back in. So little guy right here, and then bigger guy this way. And then this goes all the way over both of them. I'm going to put it down. Could be easier. There we go. All right, now it's all in there. Let me show you a close-up. Okay. And then we need some of these screws. These are the M3 by either 8. M3 by 8, all right? And then these will go into these holes, these 4 holes here, to fasten it together. So you're going to need a total of 4 of these, all right? Okay, I got my 4 of them here, and let's go ahead and screw these in. So this top part right here sandwiches it, sandwiches servo motor, so it connects to this bottom part. All right, let's go ahead and do this. There's one. second one here. Okay. That's 2. Let's do 3. Nice. And then let's do 4. All right. Motor is in there. It's looking pretty solid. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the next step. All right, so in this section, what we need to do is we're going to build what we call the claw drive mechanism. All right, so that's the thing that's going to connect to here. We're going to have a servo horn. It's going to connect to here. And then there's going to be some gears and stuff that's going to connect to this hole right here. And then that's going to move it back and forth. All right, it's called the claw drive mechanism. So I'm going to move this to the side. And let's put that mechanism together, and then we'll connect it to the claw. So I'm going to put this to the side. All right, first thing, let's get a servo horn, one of these guys, and just a one-winged servo horn. All right, and then we grab this piece. All right, it's got a big hole right here, a little middle slot, and then a little hole on the side. So you're going to take it and then put it right on top like that. Okay, let me hold it up here so we can see. Okay, go like that, and it should slide in. Let me show the back of it. Okay, and then we want to fasten this together. So we're going to take one of these screws here and screw in. All right, so what's going to happen is as we screw it in, it's going to go through the hole on the back here. You see it's coming through. There. All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next step. We have the servo horn connected to this piece here. Let's move on to the next step. All right, the next step is we need this piece right here. All right, and this is kind of tricky. We got to take this guy, make sure that the top of the screw is facing up, and we're going to put this piece underneath like that. Okay, underneath, make sure it's underneath. And then we're going to take one of these guys, M3 by 6. Go, well actually it doesn't go on top, so it should slide in actually the other way. So I'm going to flip it over and slide in this way, and then screw in tightly that way. There we go. Pretty good. Let me go a little bit tighter because it's kind of wobbly like that. So you don't want to wobble like that. Still a little wobbly. So let me go like that. All right, I think it's pretty good now. Okay, we are getting close. We have one more piece. All right, so at this point, what we need is we got to get this little circle piece, like a little donut, and that's going to go like this. Now, the way that we really figure this out is we got to take this guy. Let's get our claw, okay? And let's see how it's going to fit. So the servo horn, let's go ahead and put the servo horn on. It only goes on one way, so like this, it doesn't fit, so it's going to actually be this way. Again, it only will snap in one way. And then this guy needs to eventually screw in to this hole right here, right? So it's going to go like this. You can kind of move things a little bit. I'm going to move it like this just for now. And needs to like match over that hole. Okay. Now there's something that fits in between this top part and this bottom claw part, and that's this little hole or donut thing. So you put that there, and then this goes like that. Like that. Okay? And then you got to get a screw, one of these guys, a M3x8 guy, M3x8, and then we're going to screw it in. Like that. Alright, and remember the donut's in the middle there. Let's screw it in. Cool. Now, it's kind of like I'm trying this. I can turn this and it kind of does it, but it's kind of tough, so I probably tighten this too much. So let's loosen a little bit. Cool. All right, so this part right here, just like all the other parts, we have to eventually put a screw in here. It could be one of these servo screws, okay? But we're gonna calibrate it first, and then we'll tighten it. So let's go ahead and grab this guy. All right, and let's connect this to so this was the base was 9. I took these out for now. We'll just like ignore the rest of this for now, okay? So we have 9 was the base, then we had 10 and 11 for these two, so this will be actually the only other one that we can use it has to be a special pin number. So let's do pin number 6, okay, for the claw. So let's put in the pin number 6. Okay. Be careful of like the G brown goes to G. All right. So I plugged it into 6, and then let's try to program this guy. Okay, I'm gonna plug this in. Get my thing here, and then I'll switch screens here. All right, so that we can see everything. So I'm going to plug this in. So what I'd like to do here is let's go ahead and undo this. Because remember, my favorite way to program or to calibrate is to undo it, move it to the angle we want, and then plug it in. So as a practice, let's go ahead and just do a very simple, let's just move this motor. Don't worry about the other stuff. So hashtag include servo.h, and then I'm going to say servo, this will be claw motor, and then void setup, claw motor dot attach 6, because we connected servo motor 6, and then void loop. In my loop, I'm going to say claw motor dot write 0. So I'm going to move this motor to 0. See what happens here. So let's make sure that this works. Okay, so that moved. All right. And so I'm at 0 right now. Let's see what happens. If I put this on here, so at this point I'm gonna, a little bit tricky. Okay, so it's at 0 right now. So what happens if I change it to 90? Is it going to go down this? Is it going to go down this way or go that way? Let's see. 0, 90. So it's not, I think that's not quite doing what I want it to do. I think it closed it even more. So this is where this calibration thing gets a little interesting. So I'm going to take this off. Okay. So I need it to, so I want it like this. Maybe, let's try this. Maybe this should be 90. So now 90 is like wide open. And then let's say if I go, let's go to 0 now. Does it do what I want to do? Does it close? Oh no, it goes the other way. So 0 goes, you see it went further open. So let me go back to 90. And it should go back to that kind of just wide open, but not too wide open. Okay, so that's 90. Now maybe if I go 180, it will close. Okay, I'll bring it up here so you can see. Cool. So 180 is closed, and then 90 will be open. Cool. So we'll do a couple challenges here. It's just super easy. We always like to have some challenges, starting easy and then a little harder. So challenge 1 is calibrate motor so that 90 equals open and 180 equals close. All right, so now I can do those integers, our variables. Int claw close, I'm going to say is 180. Int claw open equals 90. All right, so let me write a short little open close, open close. Claw motor open. I'm going to wait 1000. Claw motor dot write claw close. Delay 1000. So once this finishes, it should just open, close, open, close. I'm going to hold it up here. Oh, I have some issues here. Oh, I forgot my semicolons. Okay. you go. Cool. See if I can give it something. All right, my claw is opening and closing in sequence. All right, the last thing that we want to do now, here, I'll just leave that for now. So challenge 2, open and close the claw using 1-second intervals, meaning open for 1 second, close for 1 second, open for 1 second, close for 1 second. All right, so the last thing that I want to do is show you guys how to connect the claw to the rest of the robot here. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, guys, here we go. So let's go ahead and attach this onto the rest of our robot. I'm going to move this out of the way. I went ahead and just disconnected the program, the power for now. Also, before we forget, once we calibrated, we want to put our screw in here, our servo screw in. This could be one of the bigger servo screws. I'm using the smaller one right now. Either one is okay, because once we know we have it where we want it, get it in. There. Okay. And now we notice we have these three screws here. All right, and 3 little supports here. So these 2 will go to this hole right here, and on this side, this hole right here. And then this top one right here is going to go to this top right here. So let's do the bottom ones. So with the bottom ones, I'm going to turn it like this. The bottom one, what you need is we could do a M3 by 10. Stick it through. All right. And then you screw in. There we go. Trying to think here. Did I tell you the wrong one? Should it be an M3 by 8 perhaps? Yeah. Actually, it should be an M3 by 8, but you know what? I'm gonna keep going here because you guys can figure that out. Just gonna keep going, and you guys will have to extrapolate, meaning that you'll have to figure out what it's like to use the right screw, because this one is a little bit too long, so you get a little bit of a shorter one. But we'll see. And guys, that's part of this whole process. And you know, knowing that this is a final part of assembly here. If you think back, we've done a lot of different parts, and we've had to change screws around, and you know, we've had to see how we can like add a nut on this side and stuff like that. So the fact that you have to kind of move some stuff around is no surprise. Oh, and look what I just did. I connected the top one to the bottom here, which is not correct. So let me undo that. Okay. Should be this guy right here. Going there. Again, an M3 by 8 probably be better. See, I have this extra little bit sticking out here. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but you know, it's might be stable enough with this one going in. But I would recommend an M3x8 down here. Now over here, M3x6. I think I have the right one, so that would be good. So up top, let's do an M3x6. There we go. All right, there we go. Check it out. We have it all settled in. And now when this goes up and down, it's all connected to it. All right, so let me go back on this way. So the rest of today, what I would like you to experiment with is we've already calibrated the motor for 90 is open and 180 is closed. We wrote a program to open and close automatically. And challenge 3, I'm just going to leave it open-ended. You know, we're just back from spring break, so I like to kind of keep it light, keep it easy, because we're coming back from break. So why don't we just say, let's write a program that moves all 4 motors in sequence. So what that means is, what I mean by that is that it moves the base, okay, it moves the lift as well as the extend, and then moves the claw to open and close. So whatever you want to do, as long as you get all 4 of those moving in sequence, will be good. And then we'll just we'll keep going from there. All right, have fun with that. I will talk to you guys later.